Crochet Tree Survivals. This is part whatever the heck it is. It'll be in the description. I've made several of them. This one here, in the theme of not patronizing a new person who is new to shooting. In this particular case, Mr. Mike's fiance. To treat these folks who are new to firearms as equals, we need to teach them how to do all the different things to operate a firearm. One of them is how to load a magazine. Now this here is a single stack magazine. They're a whole lot easier to load than a double stack for like a Glock or an M&P or an XD or whatever the case may be. But you should learn how to load your own magazines. Okay, basically all you gotta do is push it down, push it to the rear. I'll do the next one up close so you can see it. You're pushing down at the front where the projectile, the bullet is. You're pushing to the rear. And I don't know if the camera caught that, so let's do it right quick. Again, push down and push to the rear. Okay, and that loads the magazine. Let's talk about parts to the magazine. This thing in here is called the magazine follower. And inside there you can see the spring. This is the floor plate. The outside of the magazine, the metal part, is the tube. And up here, the critical items. These are called feed lips. Okay, and I've got a couple of videos on that, I do believe. But this is what controls the cartridge until the extractor either hooks it or the slide pushes it on in and the extractor slaps over the base of the cartridge. Let's talk about cartridges. This is a complete cartridge. It contains a projectile, the bullet, cartridge case. Inside there's powder, which usually looks like little granules, and a primer. Okay, the primer is the actually only explosive part to this. The powder is a propellant, like the propellant that they use in the solid rocket fuel boosters on the space shuttle, or the liquid fuel that they use to power the main engines of the space shuttle, or the gas that you put in your gas tank. Without that propellant, it's not going to go very far. Let's do some more. Of course, I've already covered that the end of the barrel here is the business end. It is known as the muzzle. I should already had this set up. This end of the barrel is known as the breech, aka the chamber. Okay, on a semi-automatic handgun, this piece on the top is known as the slide. And of course you have your rear sight and your front sight. On my particular handgun, a 1911, as well as several others out there, you have an external exposed hammer. On all semi-automatic handguns, you have a piece right here. This little lever is the slide lock. Okay, let me see. Yep, you can see that. On the last round, the magazine follower, which I showed you earlier, pushes this up and locks the slide back to indicate that you are out of ammunition. Okay, it's a visual indicator. As you shoot more and more and more, you will get to where you recognize that the moment it happens. That's just to give you an idea that the gun is empty. Alright, now I've already shown you on this side, and on a lot of them these days they're ambidextrous. You can release it from the left side or right side. But that is your magazine release. Okay. Of course, this is your mag well down here. You'll put the magazine with the fresh ammunition in here. Now on a 1911 style handgun, and the XD, you have what is called a tang safety. This is a passive safety. Okay. When you grip the handgun in a proper grip, it releases that safety block that blocks the fire, or it actually blocks the hammer from falling, is what it does. So if you were to have this safety off and tried to pull the trigger, but you had not to press that one, it will not do anything. If you press that in, but that one's locked, it still will do nothing. If you have that released and you have the grip on it, it will fire. Okay, so those are some of the safety features. Now, Most of the modern Glocks and M&Ps, they have a safety inside the trigger. It's a little blade that sticks out, and when you press the trigger, it releases that one. There's 3 or 4 other safeties in there, but they're all to prevent accidental drops and so forth, to prevent it from firing. Certain 1911s have a little safety mechanism. When you depress the trigger, it moves a actual physical block away from the firing pin, and so that if and what that is designed to do, if you were to drop the pistol nose down and it landed on the barrel, the inertia, the weight of the firing pin would give the firing pin enough inertia to fire the handgun, unless it's a lightweight titanium firing pin. And so if you dropped it, it could fire. And I've never heard anyone being injured that way, but it will booger up the gun pretty daggum good. The newer Colts have that particular type of firing pin block. The Smith & Wesson ones have a very similar one, but it is associated with the tang safety. This one has neither one of those, so I don't really need to drop it. What I really need to do is buy a titanium firing pin for it to prevent that. But the Glocks, the M&Ps, the XDs all have a block that actually physically blocks the firing pin from flying forward, or the striker, I should say, from flying forward and striking the primer on the cartridge to prevent it from being, you know, an accidental discharge. Next video, I'll show you guys about sight alignment.